So I will start by saying welcome, everyone. Since we do not currently have a subcommittee chair, I will read the checklist to ensure the meeting is compliant with the right to know law during the state of emergency. So I will say, as a member of the Sanborn Regional School Board's Policy Subcommittee, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are A, providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. We are utilizing Zoom for this electronic meeting. All members of the Sanborn Regional School Board's Policy Subcommittee have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting through dialing the following phone number: 1-646-558-8656. You can also watch on YouTube, www.youtube.com/C/SRSD meetings videos. Yeah, meeting videos. Sorry, no S in there. B, providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting, including how to access the meeting using Zoom or telephonically. Instructions have also been provided on the website of the Sanborn Regional School District at www.sau17.net. C, providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If anybody has a problem, please call 978-482-7394 or email at helpdesk@sau17.net. D, adjourning the meeting. If the public is unable to access the meeting, in the event the public is unable to access the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. So we will start with Tammy.
Tammy Mahoney. I'm in my home. There's no one in the room with me, but there are family members in the house that could be.
Thank you. Charlie?
Charles Melvin. I'm in my home and I'm by myself.
Great. Tom?
Hi, I'm at the new office. Matt Angel is consuming pizza at the circular table in my office. So, and I don't have a kitty because I'm in the office. So we're hoping Tammy's kitty will make a special guest appearance.
Okay, we'll see.
And I am Dawn Dutton. I am in my home. There are people that are around, but there is no one in the room with me currently. So I think we can now officially start the meeting. I guess, yeah.
We're here to elect a chair, I think.
Yes.
I nominate Dawn as chair.
Second.
Discussion? I know. We have to throw it out there,
I think you'll do a great job.
right? Okay, roll call vote. Tammy?
Yes.
Charlie?
Aye.
And myself? Sure. Yes. Thank you guys. I do appreciate that you're putting your trust in me to do this job. It means a lot to me. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it. So at this point, I don't have an actual agenda for today's meeting because we didn't have, I wasn't appointed yet. So I don't know, Tom, do you have anything that is pressing that we need to start working on for our next meeting?
You can leave it there. You can just leave it there. I think that We could talk to Phyllis and find out where we're at with the G policies that we were working on last spring before COVID began.
Yep.
And I think that, we need to kind of see where things go with regard to COVID-19 and any policies that we need to update for that. So I think that right now I'm kind of just in COVID mode, kind of working on all the issues and items that are a component of that process. So, Dawn, we could talk over the next couple of weeks. You could check in with Phyllis, and then we can develop an agenda for October. But the real burning policy issues were the ones that Jody brought forward already.
Right.
And because we were kind of in flux, Jody and I just worked on it and moved it forward. But it also was kind of an emergency with the changes from the federal government that were kind of unannounced.
Right.
So I feel good. I do want to say that Dawn and I chatted earlier today, just because she had a few questions about being a new member. And Charlie, it's great to have you here, where you have a role in the state. There's a lot of policies and laws that occur that, as you all know, policies are interesting because they're a mix of law and a mix of what we need to serve the students locally, right? It's a combination of a triangle of the federal government, the state government, and the local needs. So I really think that we've done a fantastic job on policy, particularly 2 years ago. Last year, we got some things done, but we focused on the middle school move. And I think that in the future, we need to the first goal of this group should be to establish a rotation for policies. So in year one, we do these ones. In year two, we do these ones, and break them out into, usually a district has a 4 or 5 year rotation where, each year going into policy, you're going to look at these 25, 30, 40 policies. Whereas we did, I think, 380 in 1 year. I mean, it was really out of date. So I think G is one of the big ones that needs to be done, and probably at some point I, but I think we're going to have to tackle I after we get out of COVID, because I need teachers and people available to really work on I. It's instruction, right? So I want to make sure that instruction is done very collaboratively.
Right.
It
Yeah,
really
and we don't want to,
to.
yeah, and everybody's got enough on their plate right now. We want to do everything right. So I feel like that's a good plan, is to let the school year start, and then we can really delve into everything. And I know, and Tammy, you can correct me if I'm wrong. We had started to talk about some goals at our last meeting, but I don't have them from Pam. Do you remember what they were? I know that establishing a rotation, coming up with a plan for going through policies was definitely one of them that we talked about. But do you remember what the other ones were? Maybe we can reach out to Pam and she could help us with that, and then we could reevaluate and make sure, because I think we had some good goals. We had talked about some good goals. I don't think we had officially put them into place, but I think we had started talking about them. I'm sorry, what was that?
Did we not adopt them? It's been, I feel like we haven't met in a while, actually.
Yeah, I think it may have been back as far back as May. Was it May or was it June?
It was June.
Was it June?
I'm looking it up right now. Let me just, I have
June 3rd. Yeah. So I guess we'll look back through those minutes and see, because if we did adopt some goals, that's great. And if we didn't, then we should work on that. That should be our priority at our next meeting. Unless you would like to start talking about that now, I kind of feel like maybe waiting to make sure we didn't already go through this process, so we're not double doing. But I'll take input from Tammy and Charlie on how they feel about that.
I think it's fine to go back and to spend some time reviewing. It doesn't sound like we have anything really pressing.
Right.
District right this minute, so.
Okay. It's a whole great team, and we've kind of been a pretty solid team for 3 years. So it's exciting, but it's also, we need to recalibrate, Right. Tammy and I have been living in policy heaven for a very long time.
Well, that's why I will be deferring to Tammy and asking her lots of questions, because she has a great handle on this, and between she and Pam, and I know there have been others, but they've done a really great job of getting our district back, up to date, up to code, keeping us in compliance. And so I want to say thank you, Tammy, for the job well done. And I would also like to say thank you to Pam for the
Yes,
job
she
that
did
she
really
did.
well.
She did an amazing job. And especially over the past 3 years, I mean, the amount of work that went in, the hours that she had to have put into those to get everything ready. I mean, thank you.
Really.
That's not enough, but thank you, Pam. We really appreciate you.
Could you tell me if them minutes are available? So I could get them to look them over?
Yeah, I think, Phyllis did send them to me. I did ask her to send them to me. She did send them to me. So I will take and forward those. I'll read through them. But I will make sure to forward those to both of you, so that we all have them and we can all kind of go over them and see what happened in the last meeting, because it's been a while. And then we'll have a great place to start, and we can come up with a really solid agenda for our next meeting.
Thank you.
So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Charlie, we look forward to having your input, being, in your position. You're going to be a great asset to us. So, I'm excited about this.
Thank you.
So, yeah. All right. Well, is there any pressing business that anyone would like to discuss, or anything that we need to talk about? I feel like, unfortunately, I feel like this is kind of a little bit of a lost meeting because we're in limbo right now. We just transitioned. So, but if there's anything that anybody would like to discuss, or, I'm open to continuing the meeting longer if need be.
I'm all set.
You're good? Tammy, how about you?
So I would just ask, we get downloads from NHSBA periodically, right, of policies that they feel need. I'm sure we talked about this last time, but where are those located so that we can look at them?
Oh, thanks. There's a warehouse that the NHSBA has. It's like a massive policy index on their website, and I think Pam used to just go and pull them off there. But
Okay.
I can certainly get you. I think it's okay for me to share that the information with any NHSBA member, but I just want to double check with Will Phillips, just because it's passcode protected, and I just don't want to. He's given me a passcode, but I just don't want to share that without permission. But either you can go get them, or we can go get them and send them to you. Doesn't matter. Same thing. But they basically have a massive manual of suggested policies.
Okay.
And that's sort of dynamic. I don't know what the frequency is, but they'll update, or they'll download to us.
Yes, they send us those in an email.
Regular basis.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, besides just sort of the regular review, the scheduled review, that I think we have a policy that lists out the schedule, which we might want to change, because there was certain levels.
Right.
At regular intervals every 3 years, they were to review A, B, and C, something like that. But in addition to that, we need to review stuff that's coming in from NHSBA to make sure there's nothing urgent, because the laws are changing all the time. It seems like.
Yeah, so definitely will send us in the fall and spring. There's a policy brief that comes out, and it's usually loaded with a bunch of policies. Tammy, thank you for mentioning this. I didn't think of it. It twice annually, typically. Although recently we got a bunch for the Title IX, because there was a federal change. So sometimes it will be off cycle, but typically it's in the fall and spring. They send out a policy brief, and then the chair and I will go through it and kind of look at all the different policies, and we'll work with the admins, like our process that we've always used. We leave our policy intact. We cross out whatever they're recommending deleting. We put in what they're recommending adding, and then we have the administrators read it and give feedback so that you can see the difference. And then we discuss it at the policy committee, and then usually it just goes to the board after that. But sometimes we kick it back to the NHSBA or a lawyer if we need to, if we have a question that we couldn't figure out the answer to. It's been a really good policy since we set up those steps of just kind of like keeping it really transparent, that this is what the policy said and this is what the new one says, and these are the differences. That makes it really easy, because then we just talk about the things that are local, like sticking points.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that happens twice a year. I'm willing to bet the NHSBA's policy brief will be a little bit late this fall. just because they're managing so many, trying to help so many school boards get through this, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Up to date on this, whatever they downloaded last spring. Did you
I
get-
don't know if they had a policy. I'll have to check. I thought PM processed that, but I'll double check, Tammy. Yep, good question.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Tammy.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, I guess if there isn't anything else, we can call this an early night and maybe go have a little bit of dinner before the school board meeting.
Thank you, everyone. It's nice to see you all.
All right,
All right, take care.
all right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.